All right, I think that we are live. Let's see. I think that we are currently live. Yes, we are. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Oliver, and on this channel we talk about education and early career development in Finland. And during these weekly live Q&A live streams, I answer your most burning questions about living, studying, and working in Finland. And how these live streams actually work is that if you have any questions that you would like me to answer live, there is actually a Google form that is linked in the description box below. And if you want any of your questions answered live, please post your question into the Google form, again in the description box below. This way I will have all the questions here in front of me on the computer, and they will not be missed in the live chat. Sometimes the live chat in YouTube gets quite busy, and if you post your question into the live chat box, I will most likely miss your question altogether. But yeah, basically these live streams, the idea here is for you to have an opportunity to ask me about anything, or ask me anything about studying, living, and working in Finland, and I will do my best and in trying to answer your question. And let's see, before we actually jump into the first questions, there are a few questions still left from last week. I will actually link the live stream into our Discord server. So if you for some reason are not yet a member of our Discord server, I highly recommend that you consider joining. The idea of the server is to build a community of people interested in studying and working in Finland. And in the server, I post updates about upcoming videos and live streams, and we have a bit more personal dialogue about all of these things that I've just mentioned. Also, in addition to posting the link into the Discord server, I will actually post a link to the Discord server into the live chat. And if you want to join the Discord server, you can actually jump into the server through the link that I have right here in just a moment. Rishi, what's up? Welcome back to the stream. Awesome to have you here again, week after week. Awesome. Hey, moi, and what's up? Just a moment. I'll try to set everything up for today so that we can actually start. Study Connections, what's up? Welcome to the stream. If you could please do me a bit of a favor and post your question into the Google form that I have linked in the description box below. The reason for this is that usually the chat gets pretty busy, and I actually have a Google form which I have open here in front of me on the computer, and it makes it a bit easier for me to manage all the questions that come in throughout the live streams. And I actually have a couple of questions left from last week, and I will start with those questions first, and then I will answer all the questions in a first come first served basis. Return to Monkey at all cost, what's up? Welcome to the stream as well. Again, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer live, do make sure to post your questions into the Google form, which is linked in the description box below. Cool. If you guys can hear me okay, let me know in the chat by posting a thumbs up. If my voice is too loud or too low, just let me know and I'll adjust it from here. Cool. But I think we can jump into the first question, which actually comes from last week from Laura. And Laura comes from India, and Laura is still in high school, but is interested in doing a bachelor's degree at Aalto University in the degree program of International Business and Finance. And the question is, could you please tell me about the requirements for the program, like the SATs or IELTS language exams? I actually looked at the Aalto University website, but I couldn't find any requirements there, though. Cool. All right. Absolutely. So let's see. Just a moment. I'll actually share my screen and show this live right here. Masrur, what is up? Welcome back to the stream. Awesome to have all the regulars here every single week hanging out. Hope you're having a great day, morning or evening, wherever every one of you are coming from, and hopefully everyone has actually stayed safe during these times. Anyways, back to Laura's question about the requirements for the potential SATs and IELTS exams for Aalto University, specifically their program in international business. So if you go to, if you just Google Aalto Bachelor's International Business, you go to this link, which starts with aalto.fi. Do not go to this link which says into.aalto.fi, because this is the basically Aalto University's intranet, and it's a bit difficult to find the information from there. So if you click this link and go to Aalto University's website, and then come here to how to apply and click there, from here you should be able to look at all the different admission or application requirements, and you are going to be in the admission group 2 because you apply to study in Finland with a degree done in another country. So if you would apply to study in Finland with a degree done in Finland, you would belong into admission group 1. So for the admission group 2, you need to do the SATs here. It's actually said right here first. So admission is based on the SAT test results, and specifically the following sections of SAT test are considered in this admission: mathematics and evidence-based reading and writing. So these two are two different sections. So you have to do these two sections of the SATs in order to apply for a bachelor's in Aalto University School of Business. Then about the IELTS or other language tests, just Control F, language requirements, and you can actually see here you are not required to submit a separate language test result, for example the IELTS, in admission groups 2 and 3. In those groups, the SAT test results are sufficient proof of language proficiency. So this means that you have to do the SATs, however, you do not have to do the IELTS or any other kind of language exam when you're applying for Aalto University Bachelor's Program in International Business. So hopefully that cleared up your question and gave you a direct answer to it. Return to Monkey at all costs saying, "You remember me, Oliver?" I do remember you, but of course you would, if you like to remind me where you're actually coming from, that would be awesome. There is a lot of people coming to the channel nowadays, so I get completely mixed up with everyone and where everyone comes from. Masrura also saying, "Looks like you grew your hair." Yeah, I actually didn't want to grow my hair, but unfortunately in Finland, the current situation with COVID is such that restaurants and many other businesses were closed for 3 weeks, and I actually haven't had a haircut in 3 months, so my hair is getting overly long. So I'm hoping to get a haircut as soon as possible. That's why I'm also wearing the cap today. Right. Okay. Homicidal chimpanzee. All right. Got it. That's what I thought. All right. Awesome. The next question in the form comes from Marina Carengnato, who comes from Brazil/Italy. Nice. And Marina is applying for is starting school this semester, doing a master's in economics at Aalto University, and Marina has a couple of questions. First, starting, "Hi Oliver, congrats on your amazing channel." Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out. "I've been accepted to the Masters in Economics at Aalto University. First of all, that's awesome. Congratulations. Hopefully this doesn't burst anyone's ears. Yay! That is absolutely awesome. Congratulations on being admitted to Aalto University. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm sure that you're going to enjoy yourself in Helsinki and in Aalto University during your studies. Oh, by the way, not sponsored at all. I just like the hoodie. So just hashtag not sponsored. All right, Marina has 2 questions. First, from what I understand, I can only apply for student housing 4 months in advance. And I read on the HOAS website that the application period for student housing starts in April. As I expect to go to Finland at the end of August, I can only apply for housing from May. Do you think this is going to somehow spoil my chances of getting a student apartment? No, so no, it's not going to it's not going to spoil your opportunities on getting a student apartment. If I remember correctly, Marina, the way that HOAS formulates their rules on applying for apartments is that you are able to apply. You're allowed to apply at earliest 4 months before you actually need the apartment. So not 4 months before your studies start. So what I would do in your case, I would actually contact HOAS right now and ask them whether or not the rules apply, or how should you interpret the rules in your case. So whether you can actually apply 4 months before you come to Finland or 4 months before your studies start. There's a big difference there. However, no matter whether or not you would apply 4 months before your studies start, or 4 months before you actually come to Finland, I don't think that's going to impact your chances. 4 months is long time enough for you to actually get a student apartment from HOAS. They have that 4-month period there on purpose so that they don't get overwhelmed with applications beforehand. So I would say that the 4 months is good enough. Also, take into account that actually as an Aalto University student, you're actually also able to apply for the apartments from AYY, which is the student union of the university, Aalto University. So just Google AYY apartments and go to this page, ayy.fi/housing. And from here, you can actually apply for their student apartments, many of which are actually on the Aalto University Otaniemi campus, which is really, really cool. Do note that with AYY apartments, you are allowed to apply for an apartment the second that you get or receive your admission letter. So you can actually apply for these apartments right now, and I actually recommend that you apply for them right away because the queues for AYY apartments are usually quite long. So even if you apply right now, you might not still get an apartment. So I was actually in a queue. This is years ago. This is like 6 years ago. But I was actually in the queue for 2 years, and I never got offered an apartment from AYY. They've gotten more apartments from since then, so the situation is a bit better. But that gives you a bit of context on how popular the apartments are. So take that into account. Homicidal chimpanzee or return to monkey at all costs, saying that the soundboard. Yeah, that's true. I got my soundboard to work, so that we have a couple of sound effects. I hope that you guys enjoy them. Anyways, Marina had a couple of other questions. The second one was, as you are also a master student in economics, can you tell me a bit more about the Helsinki Graduate School of Economics? Can I apply for courses at any of the 3 unis through it? So, right. All right, so I'm not 100% sure what you mean with the Helsinki Graduate School of Economics. So basically, if you mean Aalto University School of Business or Aalto University's School of Business, it's basically just called Aalto School of Business, which is under Aalto University. And as an Aalto University business student, you are allowed to apply for courses or do courses from any of the other schools at Aalto University, meaning the School of Technology, which has multiple actual schools inside of it, and then the School of Arts and Design. However, you have to take into account that many of the courses, especially when you go into more specialized topics, like, for example, design or technology or software, there are a lot of prerequisites for many courses. So, for example, you cannot just go to a course, an applied course of 3D printing or applied physics. You need to take X amount of courses in mathematics and maybe software development before you can actually take them. So just take this into account. Cool. I hope that answered your questions. The next one comes from Julien from France. Awesome to have Julien here once again. All the regulars every single week. And Julien is interested in doing a degree in finance. And there's actually an off-topic question. Do you consider yourself happy in Finland? Do you like it there? Do you plan on moving to a foreign country in the future? That's actually a really interesting question, and I've been actually pondering this quite a lot. As a general answer, yes, I'm actually really happy in Finland. Of course, as a disclaimer, as most of you guys know, I'm actually a native Finnish person. So I'm actually I've been born in Finland. So I'm a bit biased about this, of course. However, my girlfriend actually, who's also Finnish, she used to live for 3 years in Brussels, so Belgium. And I have a lot of different friends and relatives who've lived abroad as well. And the one thing that everyone agrees on is every time they come back to Finland, they say that everything just works here so easily. Sure, we might have a bit higher taxation than in some other countries. For example, I have a friend working in Switzerland. The personal income taxation there is ridiculously low compared to Finland, at least. However, every time he comes back here, he says that everything simply works. The healthcare system works, public transportation works, all the banking services work. There's networks, 5G networks everywhere. Just everything works perfectly. And it's weird because you only start missing those kind of small everyday things only after you move out of the country. So many people I think we don't actually appreciate the things that work in Finland as much as they actually do before we lose them. For example, we had a discussion with a couple of friends of mine. One of them who lives in Switzerland and one lives in Brazil. Both Finnish guys, but they're actually the other is half French and the other is half Brazilian. So they live in Switzerland and in Brazil currently. And both of them said that, for example, during the COVID situation, it has become even more clear for them how well things work in Finland. Because, for example, in France, the situation with COVID is completely completely out of control, but compared to how we do in Finland, it's completely ridiculous. Curfews have been used. For example, people cannot go outside by law during the night. This is something that hasn't even really been considered in Finland because things just work here so well. Got a disclaimer. As a disclaimer, the situation is getting a bit worse right now, and it's quite actually bad right now. But for the first year, the situation actually has been one of the best in the world. So I think that is a testament for the public system as well as especially the public healthcare system that we have here that works really, really well. Do I plan to move abroad at some point? Yeah, maybe. Simply because I want to experience. But I've been considering that if I want to move abroad, then I do not want to move. I don't want to move to a European country because Central Europe, even Southern Europe, is still quite familiar. It's almost everyone speaks English. Things culturally things work quite similarly. So I've been thinking about moving maybe to the US or Canada. Of course, they're Western countries as well, but it's a bit different there. Australia, New Zealand. So as far away as possible to get as different of an experience as possible, still keeping to the Western countries, I would say. But yeah, I do enjoy it. I do love it, love living here. Again, things just work. Homicidal chimpanzee saying that, it's a disaster here in France. We have a curfew at 6 p.m. Yeah, that's what my friend told me, that the curfew starts at 6 and ends at 8 a.m. I think in the morning, which basically means that you're allowed to go to work and come back home, but nothing is open. So for example, here in Finland, we had restaurants open until they closed shortly or briefly last summer. During the first wave, and now they are being closed for 3 weeks starting yesterday. However, until that or outside of those times, everything has been open, not fully but almost. The only big restrictions that we have had is in big social gatherings. So big parties, for example, all outside events have been cancelled, which is a big bummer. But again, considering the global context, it's nothing. Cool, but yeah. The next question comes from Saad Khan. Saad comes from Pakistan and is applying to study a master's in a university, in one university in Finland, in the next application period. And let's see. The field is molecular biology and medicine. Nice. Cool. Let's see. The question, is it possible to get admission in a university as a scholarship during the application time? All right. I don't actually really get the question. If you could please, Saad, if you could please reformulate the question or elaborate a bit more in the chat, for example, and I would be able to answer your question. How I understand it right now is that, are you able to get a scholarship at the same time as you apply to a university? So basically, if that's the case, then the answer is yes. However, you have to consider that every single university in Finland has a different scholarship program, which means that the way that you apply for them, how many scholarships there are, how big they are, and who are granted them varies quite a lot. So you have to always check the scholarship program from the university website. However, the majority of universities in Finland use a system where you apply for the scholarship at the same time, actually using the same application form that you use to apply for the university itself. So for example, when you apply to study at Aalto University, when you fill out the application form for the university, there's a small checkbox that you have to check that, okay, I want to apply for a scholarship. So it depends on the school, the way that you actually apply. Everyone who has just joined us, welcome to the stream. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Oliver, and on this channel we talk about education and early career development in Finland. And how these live weekly Q&As work is that I actually have a Google form in the description box below. And if you want to ask a question and get it answered live about, studying, living, or working in Finland, please post your question into the Google form, again, below in the description box below. And that way I will be able to answer all of your questions in a first come, first served basis. If you post your question into the live chat, I will most likely miss your question because the chat gets quite busy at times. Cool. Asmicity saying, hi, I'm from India. Thank you for all of your videos. Really, really helpful. You're welcome. I'm really glad to hear that they actually bring some value, because if not, there wouldn't be any point for me to actually do the YouTube channel. So I'm glad. What's up, Scarlett? Welcome to the stream. Awesome to have you here as well. Beta, what's up? Iana Ray, what's up to the stream as well? We have sorry for butchering your name. We have Tviav. Welcome to the stream as well. Sorry for butchering your name. We have Evie. What's up? Welcome back to the stream as well. Awesome to have all the regulars here during the live streams. Cool. The next question from the forum comes from Prashant Payudial, who comes from Nepal. And Prashal is applying to a bachelor's program at the HUMC, University of Applied Sciences, in the field of engineering. And the question is, hey Oliver, what's up? Can you please tell me about the scholarship opportunities for international students, especially in HUMC? I get to know that they provide scholarships during the studies. Is there any way to ensure the scholarship at the beginning of the studies? So in order to talk about the scholarships at HUMC specifically, we would actually need to go to the HUMC website to read about their scholarships. I can do that in just a second, but to answer your basically final question, that is there any way to ensure a scholarship at the beginning of the studies? Basically, no, there's no way for you to make 100% sure that you will get a scholarship. The reason is that the exact minimum requirements for scholarships in Finland are not public information. The universities and universities of applied sciences in Finland do not have to publicly post or publicize the minimum requirements for their scholarships and how many scholarships they actually grant each year. This means that it's impossible for you to say exactly what it takes to get a scholarship. This also means that it's impossible for me to say that okay, do this and then you will absolutely get a scholarship. Each university weighs different kind of things when they think about who are going to be granted a scholarship during their studies or at the beginning of their studies. So just take this into account. But let's see. But if we actually Google HAMK scholarship, we get the first result here: HAMK tuition fees and scholarships. So Hämeen ammattikorkeakoulu, which is Häme University of Applied Sciences. So scholarships for the 2020 intake and thereafter, we have, let's see, program is available for the nationals of non-European Union and non-European Economic Area countries who are studying for a degree in HAMK English taught degree programs, blah, blah, blah. From the 1st of January 2020 onwards, HAMK grants scholarships based on the Finnish language skills. The scholarship program awards students who gain at least the basic skills of Finnish language during their degree studies at HAMK. The aim of HAMK scholarship program is to support the future employment of international degree students in Finland by encouraging students to gain good level of Finnish language during their studies. Students can be awarded with a scholarship 2 times during their studies, that's awesome, based on their level of Finnish language and provided that their studies progress with 60 credits, ECTS credits, so that's the study credits that we use in Finland, per academic year. 60 credits is the nominal or normal pace that you would do each year, so that's nothing special. Cool, all right. So basically, if you reach actually, I was wrong in what I said just a moment ago. Actually, with HAMK, if you reach this level of Finnish, you will be granted a 3,200 euro scholarship up to 2 times per your studies. If you get B1 level, you will actually get a 6,500 euro scholarship. So that's actually really, really nice. So yeah, just Google. HAMK scholarship, and it's the first result that you get in Google. Cool. Let's see. Tarif saying in the chat that Ianare, they recently added Finnish in Duolingo. That's actually true. So if you want to learn Finnish easily with a mobile app, I can actually recommend the Duolingo course. It's supposed to be really, really good. I haven't tried it myself, disclaimer, but there's a bunch of YouTubers, for example, who tested it out on their channel. So you can actually Google that if you want to. Irene saying, this is helpful, thanks, you're welcome. Irene, if you have any further questions, please post your questions in the Google form. I would love to answer any of the questions that you have. And actually, currently, we don't have that many questions in the form. So if you want to make sure that your question is answered, now is actually a really good time to post your question into the Google form, which is linked below. The same applies to everyone else. Evie saying the same thing, not a question. Your videos are really informative. Thanks, I do appreciate the positive feedback. Also, I would love to get some constructive feedback if there are things that suck or things that I could improve upon. Please let me know, because I would love to improve over time and you know, increase the amount of value that I'm bringing you guys. Cool. Let's see. Rish is saying that I did like the scholarship criteria based on the Finnish language skills. Great way to promote and motivate students to acquire Finnish skills. Actually, that's a really good point. I do agree. That's a very unique way of actually granting scholarships. I don't know of any other school in Finland that does the same, but I actually like that a lot because while having basic Finnish skills, language skills, is not required for you to do well in Finland, it will definitely help you out in you know, building your career. So actually, I think that that's a really, really cool way to grant these scholarships. All right, the next question comes from Bita Farahmand. Bita Farahmand, sorry for butchering your last name. And Bita is coming from Iran and has not yet decided whether or not she wants to study in Finland, but is interested in doing a bachelor's degree in computer sciences. The question is, I want more details on the second application period other than the one other than January. And one of my question is, will I still be considered for some university scholarships? Let's take the second question first because that's the more simple one. Yeah, why not? There's not no limitations on the scholarships basically. For example, in terms of age, in terms of countries there are, because scholarships can be only awarded to people who are eligible to pay tuition fees, meaning that only non-European Union and non-European Economic Area citizens may be granted a scholarship. So that's yeah. Yeah, Scarlett. Yeah, it's the scholarship program that I just showed. It's only for HUMC. So every other university and University of Applied Sciences has a different scholarship program, and they grant the scholarships on a different basis. So Masrur is completely correct in this case. Cool. What else do we have? Sorry, yeah. So Beta's question. So I want more details on the second application period other than January. So let's see. Now I actually have to Google. Just a moment. A drink at the same time. Just a moment. Let's see. All right. So basically, so the question is basically to learn more about the university application process or the university application round outside of the January batch. So basically, if you don't know what this means or what this refers to, is that in Finland there's basically only a couple of rounds or a couple of times a year when you can actually apply for an English taught university degree. So those happen during December and January. The master's program applications usually happen in December, between December and January, and then bachelor's degree applications happen in January. There is also one more application round which happens in September. So Beta, basically for in terms of you or in your case, the second application round would be in September, but there's only a very few study options available in English. There's a third application round which is held in March, but during the March application, there's only study programs offered in Finnish and Swedish, and you have to speak basically Swedish or Finnish natively in order to apply for them. So just take that into account. So in your case, when you apply through the studyinfo.fi website, just let me show you. So when you actually apply through the studyinfo.fi website, which is the Finnish government or the website maintained by the Finnish Ministry of Education, you only have basically the January intake, which is the best chance for you to apply for bachelor's degrees in English. However, the one thing that I want to note here is that there is this company called Edunation. Again, not sponsored, hashtag not sponsored. I just like their product. So Edunation is actually a Finnish company that offers a alternative way of applying to study in Finland. So while the normal way would be to apply during these January or December application periods, again, January is for bachelor's, December is for master's, Edunation actually partners with a number of Finnish universities and universities of applied sciences. Here's a full list. And what they do is that they offer more frequent application rounds than what you would normally have. So for example, if we take a look at, in your case, you would like to do a degree in software development. So that would be engineering and technology. Let's see, Where? So bachelor's programs here. Let's see. What do we have here? Soft. Div. No. IT. No. What do we have here? Trying to find something. Information and communication technology. No, that's not it. Well, let's for example take the bachelor's in engineering or in electronics or technology and engineering. Actually, let's take this one. So that's at the LUT University. So what LUT has through Edunation is that they have a much longer application period what you would normally have. So normally this application period would only be for 1 month. However, with Edunation, it's almost 3 to 4 months, depending a bit on the university itself. So I would really recommend that you check out Edunation and their programs. And the one thing that you have to take into account is that when you apply through Edunation, unlike with Study Info, which is a free service to apply through, Edunation has a small fee, basically a service fee if you apply through them. It's 100 euros. However, the cool thing here is that, first of all, again, the application periods are much longer. And the one other really big benefit is that you actually get the information about your admission much faster. So while normally when you apply to study in Finland, it takes almost 4 to 5 months for you to learn whether or not you actually are admitted to study at a certain school, when you apply through Edunation, you can actually, depending on the case a bit, so it plus minus some weeks, you can actually get the information at earliest in 4 weeks. So that's 1 month compared to 4 to even 5 months when you apply through Study Info. So that's a really cool benefit to it. So Edunation, check it out. Again, not sponsored, just a really good product for many international students. Cool. Let's actually say what's up to a bunch of guys who just joined. Long Yuang, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yevgenia, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Awesome that you had the time to drop by. Jet Gotti, what's up also as well? Thank you for the compliment or sarcasm. I'm not sure which that is. What's up, Martina? Emma, welcome to the stream as well. Awesome to have all the regulars on the channel or in the stream as well. Then Evangelia, welcome to the stream as well. I will get back to your question in a moment. Or if you actually, Evangelia, if you want to get your question answered quickly, please post your question. Just repost the same question that you asked in the chat. However, in the Google form that I have linked in the description box below, it's right at the top of the description box below. The reason is that the chat gets pretty busy, and I most likely will miss your question if you have your question in the chat. So if you post your question into the Google form, it will come here in front of me on the computer, and I will be able to answer all of the questions in a first come, first serve basis. Anyways, the next question comes from Yana Reyes, who comes from Mexico City. And Yana is already studying in Finland at XAMK University of Applied Sciences, doing a bachelor's in film and game industry. Nice. That's cool. Cool. The question is, where do I find English-speaking summer jobs in audiovisual or game design? Not programming, but more into the actual game design or art. Great question. That's a really good question. Let's see. There are a bunch of really good game companies in Finland. And I just saw a post about this topic today on LinkedIn. Let me just quickly check if I can actually find it. Just a moment. I'll just browse through my LinkedIn feed super quickly to see if we have anything there. If I have anything there, let's see. Nope, cannot find it. Never mind. Really good question. Let's see. Game jobs Finland. I think there was a there's a specific website in Finland that actually where you can find jobs. Yeah. All right. It's here. Found it. Gamejobs.fi. this is the website that you want to look at. So first of all, you have open positions. You have different companies that post jobs on the website. For example, Bond Games. You have EA. You have let's see. What else do we have? Kamu is a really good gaming company, or actually gaming security company. Then we have, I think we have Supercell here as well. No, never mind. Red Links, a really good Finnish gaming company. Rovio, the company behind, for example, Angry Birds. Then we have Remedy. Remedy is a really good Finnish gaming company as well. So Small Giant Games, everyone is here. So just check gamesjobs.fi, and let's see, for example, level designer to join a match 3 studio. Do we have anything else? Game design in UI or UX. Yeah, we have a bunch of jobs here. All right, so just come here, gamesjobs.fi, and you can actually find different gaming industry jobs there. I'm not sure if they have any summer jobs or part-time jobs there, but that's the best place to go for. Plus, you can actually, by going through the different companies that they have there, I would recommend that if they don't have any open positions for the summer, just contact some of the companies directly that you're interested in and ask them directly if they will have any kind of summer jobs for the summer. What I would say that you have to really start moving quickly. The summer job application period season is ongoing already, and if you wait for a month, you're already too late. So most companies are actually looking for people right now, and many of them have already actually found many of the people that they want to hire. So go ahead, check that out really quickly. Or apply to jobs as fast as you can, and again, contact some of the companies directly for some opportunities, or at least they can give you hints on who to contact if they don't have anything open, hopefully. Cool. The next question comes from Jet Koti, and as a refresher, Jet is one of our channel members, which I do appreciate, and it comes from India, and the question is, how much time before your studies commence can you arrive into Finland? That's a really good question. I think you can actually come to Finland the second that you actually get a residence permit. So I think that it's up to your residence permit. You have to take into account that you can only apply for a residence permit once you have received your admission letter. And you have to take into account that the residence permit application process, depending on your country, can take quite a while, so it can take a couple of months up to even. Also, you have to take into account that right now with the COVID situation, because you have to, as one piece of the process for the residence permit application, you actually have to go to a Finnish embassy or something similar in your country. And many embassies are actually closed right now around the world. So I've heard, and many of the universities in Finland actually publicly say that it might be that the residence permit application process is heavily postponed. So just take this into account. However, my understanding is that you can actually arrive to Finland as soon as you have your residence permit. However, you cannot enter the country without the residence permit. So basically, if you do the residence permit application process as soon as possible, you can get quite quickly into Finland before, or quite a bit before your studies begin. Also, do take into account, kind of referring to an earlier question about the student apartments. If you want a student apartment, you have to check the student apartment providers or about the time at when you are allowed to at earliest to apply for a student apartment. So for example, if you want to come to Finland 4 months before your studies begin, you most likely will not be able to get a student apartment for that. Rather, you would need to get rent an apartment from the private market for the summer, and then hope that you get a student apartment before the studies begin. So a couple of things to take into account. But I hope that cleared the question. Chandima, welcome to the stream as well. Melina, what's up? Awesome to have you here as well. Wagar, welcome to the stream as well. As awesome to have you here. Hopefully you guys are doing well and everyone is safe. One thing to note, I actually don't have that many questions in the Google form right now. So if you want your question answered, this is actually a perfect time to post your question into the form. And if you just joined the stream, and if this is the first time you are joining one of these live Q&As, how these Q&As work is that instead of posting your question into the YouTube live chat, please post your question into the Google form that I have linked in the description box below. The reason is that the live chat, as you can already see, gets quite busy, and it's impossible for me to keep track of all the questions there. So just let me know, post a question in the Google form. I will have them in front of me here on the computer, and I will be able to answer your question in a first come first serve basis. Masrur asking, Oliver, what are the rules for pets in student homes? Can I bring my dog with me? Good question. That depends on the student housing provider and as well as with the apartment. So, for example, with HOAS, most apartments are dog pet friendly, so you can bring a pet with you. For example, we have a dog in our HOAS apartment. However, this would also depend on the apartment itself. So when you apply for a student apartment, make sure to check a box saying that I do have a pet that is moving with me, so that you're not offered an apartment into which you cannot bring an animal into. One thing that you also need to take into account is that if you apply for a shared apartment where you would have multiple flatmates, it is highly likely that you are not allowed to bring in a pet because, you know, allergies and such. So just take that into account. What else? Then we had something from Yana. Oh, I'm so rude. I didn't even say hi. Sorry. Thanks for the answer. Don't worry about it. It's completely fine. You know, people are jumping in and out all the time, so that's completely okay. Cool. All right. The next question comes from Eric from Germany/South Africa. Interesting. All right. Welcome. Welcome, Eric. And Eric is coming to Finland to work, not for school. And the fields are IT and HR. Interesting. Super interesting combo. So the question is, how hard or easy is it to find work in IT and HR as foreigners without Finnish? Great question, Eric. If you're still live, let me know in the chat. Maybe we can have a bit of back and forth. So first of all, you most likely don't know, but I actually have my background in recruitment. So I haven't studied management and HR. However, I actually used to work for 4 years in a recruitment company before I actually started working on YouTube full time. And the IT sector is the fastest growing sector in the Finnish market. Surprise. And that also means that the IT sector is also the fastest growing sector in HR and recruitment. And the one thing that you also need to know is that the Finnish IT market has a huge demand for talented software developers, and we actually have a huge deficit of IT specialists and you know, software developers, data analysts, etc. Everything that has to do with any kind of artificial intelligence, code, whatever, technology in general. And this means that we're actually trying to bring as much international talent into the country as possible, and that means that there is actually a growing demand for international HR talent in Finland, specifically in the IT market. So, for example, I have a bunch of ex-colleagues who are working in specific IT recruitment companies. I can show you a couple of examples right now. So what I would recommend you to do is to contact a couple of these companies and actually ask them directly. First of all, we have completely blacking out. Let's go to Google. All right. So first of all, we have Talented. So Talented is actually one of the leading IT recruitment companies in Finland, and they do purely and exclusively developer recruitments. So and it's a really good company. I have a bunch of my ex-colleagues working there, and they're doing really well, growing like right now. And they have a really interesting and really unique business model where they actually do not have this kind of an open application system where people submit their CVs, etc. Rather, what they do is that they actually have these talent agents. You guys would be working as talent agents. And this means that people actually submit or apply to become applicants or software developer applicants, and then you guys would be then looking for and searching, basically headhunting jobs for these guys. So talent, that is one. Definitely check it out. Then we have Finders Seekers, I think. Yeah, Finder Seekers is one other great company, great developer recruitment company. Definitely check it out as well. And then we have what else? There's a couple of others as well, but I would recommend that you start with these two companies. So Talented and Finders Seekers, definitely check those out and contact them directly about potential opportunities for an IT recruiter. Cool. Let's see. Also continuing with the question, Oliver wants to come with my wife, who is South African. She wants to work in HR. Right. Okay. So the one thing that you need to take into account in terms of her is the residence permit, which can sometimes be a bit problematic. So the reason is not that you are not able to get a residence permit to work. However, the problem usually is that the residence permit application process is slow as no one's business. It's really a huge problem for us in Finland. However, I think the government is working on this kind of a accelerated residence or work permit visa thing, whatever, specifically for different kind of specialists. So, for example, if you are highly educated working in a field where we have a high demand, then you would have an accelerated process. But it's a bit of a pain going through the application process. What I would recommend you to do in this case is actually checking. I think there was a really good website from the city of Helsinki. Yeah, Helsinki Business Hub. So Google Helsinki Business Hub.fi, and then let's see. They actually had a residence. Here we go. Residence permits for specialists. So actually check out this link right here. I actually haven't gone through it myself, but I would really recommend that you check out this because they're supposed to have a lot of really good information specifically for people who are non-European Union applicants. Because people who come from inside the European Union applying for work, coming to Finland just to work is quite easy because you don't need a residence permit. However, anyone who comes from outside the EU or EEA, the European Economic Area, for them getting the residence permit is a bit of a pain. So just take that into account. Cool. But I hope that helped you as well as your wife, as well as everyone else, because this is a very general topic that is discussed quite a lot. Cool. Tanvir asking, Oliver, is international business management worth in Finland? Definitely. Yeah, absolutely is. It's a wide question, so I give you a general answer. Yes, absolutely it is. No question about it. It makes you eligible to work in Finland in multiple fields, in many different positions. It opens up different kind of career opportunities, both in Finland as well as abroad. So definitely, yeah. Anyways, the next question from the forum comes from Lucy from Italy. And Lucy's question is Finland one of the best countries to study biomedical engineering? Is it at least comparable to the US, Canada, or UK? Great question. Unfortunately, I actually don't know what to say here because I'm not that well aware of the biomedical field in Finland. However, what I would say is that Finland leads in many different the world in many different biomedical and especially biology related fields, which are kind of future fields. So future research in Finland is really high level. biomedical engineering specifically, it's very hard for me to say. For example, my brother is doing his PhD in biology, and he, for example, used to work for a company that is basically engineering food out of thin air, and they have a lot of researchers in, for example, future food research and all of these kind of bio-related research fields. So there's a lot of really interesting research being done, especially in terms of space in Finland. Of course, considering, comparing Finland to the UK or the US is a bit unfair because Finland is such a small country. Just, Finland, we have 5.5 million people. And what in London, you guys have almost 9 million people. So just London in itself is bigger in populace compared to Finland. So it's a bit unfair in that case. Of course, if you're able to get into the US and get your foot, between the door, excellent choice as well. However, if you want to stay in Europe, Finland is always a good choice. But I don't want to talk, say anything negative about the US career and education opportunities in the US, Canada, or UK. I'm sure that you would do great there as well. Eric, you're most welcome. Hopefully that helped. If you have any further questions, just let me know. If you want me to elaborate on any of the topics, just ask either in the chat or in the form, and or afterwards you can just leave a comment into the video. Cool. The next question comes from Scarlett from Bolivia. Scarlett is a regular on the channel, which is awesome. And Scarlett, as a fresher, is coming to do a master's in marketing and communications. And the question is, do you think that in the case that I'm accepted to a master's in science, do you think that in the case that I'm accepted to a master's program in economics or business administration at Aalto University, could I also take some elective courses from another master's program in arts, like complementary courses, or would they be counted in the total number of credits of my own program? Do you think that these courses would be taken in account in a scholarship? Great question. Okay, so first of all, about your scholarship. So your scholarship has nothing to do depending on the scholarship. Aalto has multiple different scholarship programs. I think they have one scholarship program called the Incentive Scholarship Program, which means that if you're able to study, let's see, Aalto Incentive Scholarship, just need to Google this really quickly. I can actually show it to you right now. Let's see. Nope, that's the wrong page. Nope, that's the wrong page as well. Let's see. There you go. In addition to the tuition fee waiver scholarships, Aalto University has incentive-based scholarships that reward fee-paying students who make good progress in their studies at Aalto. The scholarship is granted if you have completed a minimum of 60 credits of studies according to your approved personal study plan during one academic year. It's worth 1,500 euros and you can apply for it multiple times. Yeah, so in this case, yes, your courses, if you take in courses in another school, they will be counted towards a potential scholarship if you apply for an incentive scholarship. So how this works is that if we go a bit backwards with your question, so if you're admitted to study a master's degree in the School of Business at Aalto University, so a master's in economics and business administration, you are allowed to also take courses from the other schools inside of Aalto University, that being Aalto University School of Technology, as well as the School of Arts and Design. So for example, you can take some design courses. You could, for example, take a couple of courses of software development if you want to, and you can include these into your degree itself. So yes, those courses will be counted towards your degree, and as you know, the credits, meaning the credits will be counted towards your degree. However, what you need to take into account in terms of the scholarship that I just showed is that you have to first get those courses accepted by your study instructor into your study plan. And as long as those courses that you choose you're eligible to actually take those courses into your degree, then they will be accepted without any questions. So for example, when you do your master's in economics, you have a certain amount of elective courses that you can take. I think it's like 18 credits, meaning 3 courses, which are one course is 6 credits each. And those elective courses can be anything, basically, from anything from the School of Business or from the School of Arts or Technology, meaning that you can take, for example, 3 courses from the School of Arts if you want to. And those, if they are accepted into your study plan and you do them, they will then be counted towards your degree as well as your scholarship. So yes, absolutely. Hope that answered your question. Astra Nyra, welcome to the stream. What's up? I'm actually doing well. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Hopping in here after some time of not joining the streams. You're always welcome back to the streams. Welcome. If you have any questions, as usual, just let me know in the Google form, and I'll get to your question as soon as possible. But hopefully you're doing well as well, and hopefully you have been staying safe during these interesting times. Then we have Jet Cotting is saying, how is life in the lockdown in Finland? So we're currently actually not necessarily locked down. We just got a bit of new we actually just, the Finnish government just implemented a bunch of new restrictions 2 days ago, so the beginning of this week. And the biggest restrictions are that different sports facilities like gyms and this kind of stuff, restaurants and, for example, hair salons, these kind of places are closed for the next 3 weeks because the situation with COVID has gotten quite a bit worse. However, we don't have any kind of curfews, so there's no restrictions on how people move outside. There's no restrictions on going to the stores or anything like this. So compared to what some people, for example, in France have to do, or how people have been restricted in France, we're actually doing quite well right now. So personally, I don't see any difference in my day-to-day life right now. So that's the situation currently. I'm actually doing quite well. Hey, Alexi, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Alexi with a €5 super chat saying, hey, Oliver, when are you coming to my place for a sauna? Alexi, that would be awesome to come there. I think I have to still wait for the 3 weeks until the current restrictions are taken down because of reasons X and Y. The numbers in Helsinki have gone up anyway, so I think I have to postpone this for a while. By the way, actually, I was supposed to call you today because I have a couple of really interesting things that I want to discuss. So let's take a call next week. There's a couple of opportunities that might be interesting to you as well. But thank you so much for the €5 super chat. I will put that towards my espresso fund, basically. Thanks, man. I do appreciate it. What else do we have here? The next question comes from Matthias from Denmark. Welcome to the stream as well. And Matthias is starting school this semester at either YAMK or SEAMK, Universities of Applied Sciences, and in the field of healthcare. Nice. And the question is, can you tell me something about nursing and other healthcare options in Finland? Also, do people in Finland value more the Finnish version of nursing degree over the English one? So, interesting questions. So, about the healthcare related options in Finland, it's really hard for me to comment on this because I don't have any experience there myself. I have a degree in economics, which is as far from healthcare as possible. The one thing that is problematic with nursing degrees and other healthcare related degrees, for example, doctoral degrees in Finland, is that, like basically with every other country in the world, it's the same everywhere. The field of healthcare is quite restricted and regulated, meaning that, for example, in Finland, in order for you to work in the healthcare sector, you basically have to speak Finnish at, I think, B1 level at a minimum, because you have to be able to communicate with your patients. This means that many nursing degrees are actually quite irritating because, for example, some schools in Finland require you to speak at least B1 level Finnish already before you apply. So that's really irritating. For example, me, I would prefer that because we have a huge demand for talented nurses. We actually have a massive deficit of nurses and other healthcare workers. And we're seeing it, for example, right now. A lot of nurses are really stressed out because they have to work overtime because of COVID. So I would prefer us taking in as many, motivated international students in Finland as possible, and basically just teach Finnish to them as they go further with their studies. However, I'm not in the government, so that's not for me to decide. So hey Aaron, what's up? Welcome to the stream as well. It's been a while. Awesome to have you here as well. But yeah, so basically what I would recommend, Matthias, for you to do is in terms of the education. In terms of the nursing degrees, what I would recommend to do, I'm not sure if you have already checked out Edunation. Okay. Moment. Water. And maybe I should slow down a bit. I have mentioned Edunation already multiple times during my live streams. For example, once already today. Anyways, hashtag not sponsored. Edunation is not sponsoring me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not paid for saying this. They just simply have a good product. So what I would recommend you to do is to go to edunation.co and actually check out their healthcare and sports related programs. So basically what Edunation is that they're a company in Finland that has an alternative way of applying to study in Finnish schools outside the normal application process. So they have a bunch of partner universities and universities of applied sciences, full list here. And the really cool thing about applying through Edunation is that the application processes are really quick compared to the normal ones. And for example, with them, they have the bachelor's degree in nursing from SAMK and as well as from Metropolia. And while these guys normally require you to they normally require you to speak Finnish at a B1 level. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Finnish. If I'm correct, yeah, if I remember correctly, they do not require you to speak Finnish when you apply through Edunation, which is really cool because it's a really weird requirement for that many universities in Finland have. Again, especially for the field of nursing. Hey Kim, what's up, dude? Beer money before we can grab cold ones together. Thanks, man. That's appreciated. Kiitos. That's really cool. Everyone say hi to Kim as well. Kim is actually a friend of mine from the University of Helsinki, which is really cool. We actually got to know each other a couple of years ago from working in a couple of student organizations and from my previous job. And Kim, hopefully you're doing fine, staying safe as well. We definitely need to grab a couple of cold ones once the weather gets a bit warmer. If not inside, then maybe outside, take a walk in Eira maybe and have a couple of beers, definitely. Kim is awesome. Thanks for the super chat. That's highly appreciated. I will repay it for you in beer next time we meet. Anyways, back to the question from Matthias. So about the healthcare options, I think that nursing is a great option if you want to work in healthcare. Not only is there enough work for you, there's as much work for you in the field of nursing as you want in Finland, because we have such a huge deficit of nurses. And in addition, the actual profession of nursing and healthcare workers is highly appreciated. Unfortunately, pay I think they should be paid more. Again, I'm not the person deciding this, but I think that nurses are not paid their worth in Finland, unfortunately. One part being that we have a public healthcare system, and when anything is public, then the pay, salaries might be a bit lower. However, I definitely recommend and encourage everyone who is interested in nursing in actually studying and coming to Finland, because there's a lot of opportunities for you here. And then the second question was, do people in Finland value more the Finnish version of nursing compared to the one in English? I don't think so. If you are able to come here to study nursing in English and you're actually able to graduate, you're so appreciated anyways. I love every one of you guys who actually come here and work in the healthcare industry, because we're in a lot of trouble with this topic. As I mentioned, we have a huge deficit of talented nurses who actually are motivated and want to work. So I appreciate every single one of you who actually want to come here. Kim saying that I'm doing fine working while listening to your stream. That's interesting. Are you actually doing something with the international? I would think that you're doing something with the international markets, or are you working on school stuff? That would be awesome to hear. Anyways, the next question comes from Bafna. Bavia has been on the streams before, which is awesome. And Bavia is Pavia comes from India, and is starting school this semester, studying a master's in computer sciences and data sciences. Nice. And the question is, which one of the three above mentioned universities is the best and why? The universities are Tampere, the University of Eastern Finland, and Jyväskylä. Great question. Unfortunately, I do not have an answer here. They're all great universities. However, the only university I have any kind of experience from is the University of Eastern Finland. And the only reason I have experience from there is that my brother actually has done his degree there. So the Tampere University and Jyväskylä University, I have no idea about. I have never been to the campus. I've never actually spoken to anyone who studied there, because most of my friends are from Helsinki. For example, like Kim, who is in the chat, as well as Alexi. Alexi, who did a study outside of Helsinki. But again, we haven't spoken about his studies that much. So I don't think I can actually comment here any more than saying that all of these schools are really, really good universities, and I can recommend any one of them. However, what I would recommend you to do is to check out the university websites, and for example, try to Google a bit about the cities, and for example, contact the universities themselves and ask about the job opportunities in each of these cities, and basically make yourself a pros and cons list of each of them and try to figure out which is the best option for you. So I think this would be the best way to approach the question if I were you. Sorry for not being able to give you any more precise answers, but I hope that this gave you a bit of context. Let's see. The next question comes from Wajef. No, I'm sorry. Wajef. Not F. H. Wajeh. Sorry for butchering your name. It's the combination of consonants is quite difficult for me. Wajeh. Wajeh. I think that's correct. Wajeh comes from Pakistan, and is starting school this semester at either Aalto University or the University of Tampere, doing a master's in AI, machine learning, and data sciences. Nice. All of which are excellent choices. Great. The question is, we do not have a Finnish embassy in Pakistan, and to acquire a visa, we have to go to the UAE, so that would be United Arab Emirates, I guess, and their Finnish embassy. However, the UAE government has banned visas for Pakistanis amid the pandemic. Ugh. All right. Can you suggest any alternative to this situation? I've already received a scholarship in the University of Oulu and expecting admission in Aalto University also. Crap. Unfortunately, I have no solutions for you here. Unfortunately, this is a really, really unfortunate situation, but it's also the same situation in many other countries as well, especially in countries that do not have a Finnish embassy or mission in the country. But also in some countries where they actually have a Finnish embassy, because some of the embassies are actually closed right now, depending on the local situation. So unfortunately, I don't know how to approach this problem. What I would recommend you to do, the best way of action, I think, for you is to contact the University of Oulu, at least initially. And if you're admitted to Aalto University, then contact Aalto as well and ask them about the situation. The reason is that the universities in Finland are the best, most well. They're really well informed about the situation and about the different problems that students have, and I think that they have the ability to give you most accurate assessment of the situation and the best information that is available. You could also try to contact the Finnish Immigration Service. Unfortunately, I don't think that they're able to help you that much, because I'm sure that they get so many different contact requests every single day that they're not able to, give you that much time. However, if you have already been admitted to the University of Oulu, they will most likely give you quite a lot of time because you are their student and they want you to move here. So contact them directly for help. That would be my suggestion at this point. Cool. By the way, super quickly, for anyone who has just joined the stream, or if this is the first time you are actually joining these weekly live Q&As, welcome. My name is Oliver, and I'm a soon-to-graduate master's student in the Aalto University School of Business. I'm about to submit my master's thesis in a couple of weeks, and hopefully after that I will graduate. And on the channel, we talk about education and early career development. So basically, my job is to help you guys get your degree and get your early career started in Finland. And how these live streams work is that there's actually a Google form linked in the description box below, at the top of the description box. And if you want your question to be answered live, please post your question into the Google form. The reason being that the live chat gets quite busy at times. And if you post your question into the live chat, it's most likely that I will miss it. So please don't be offended if I miss your question in the chat. Again, there's actually not that many questions in the queue in the form right now. So if you want your question answered quickly, please post your question into the Google form right now, and I will get back to it in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, Yevgenia is saying in the... first of all, Jet Koti said, Alexi in the house. That's true. Alexi himself is in the house. Hopefully still, I'm not sure. If you are, bro, awesome to have you here. Yevgenia also saying to Tanver, Open University of XAMK offers free Finnish courses for various levels. That's very, very true. Thanks, Yevgenia, once again for bringing this up. So if you guys want to learn Finnish before or after you come to Finland, the University of Applied Sciences, XAMK, offers free Finnish language courses that are very high quality university courses that you can take. Just Google XAMK, so XAMK, Open University Finnish courses, and you should find that in the Google results. Yevgenia saying also, building on top of that, I'm studying Finnish from Lithuania, sitting at my couch. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Best way to do, study Finland before you come here. Kim also saying, that one I got already. Positive Life saying, hi, nurse here from the Philippines, interested to come to Finland soon. That would be awesome. Welcome to Finland. We need as many of you guys, working in the healthcare sector as possible. I would love for you to come here, and you're highly appreciated. As well as I actually want everyone to, thank you and give praise to all nurses and healthcare workers in the chat for actually helping us go through this incredibly difficult time. We owe you guys, no matter whether you're working as a nurse, doctor, or just as an assistant at a hospital somewhere, we guys owe you so much. Globally, thank you so much for your work. It's highly, highly, highly appreciated. So we again, everyone thank all the nurses in the chat. Then Yevgenia saying that almost all countries underestimate nurses and doctors, so we are having the current COVID situation. Very true. I completely agree. And then Katie is asking how much money do I have to bring in order for me to move to Finland? Jet Koti is correct, saying 560 euros per month according to the Finnish Immigration Service, but 700 to 900 euros per month would be practical. That's absolutely true. Thanks for helping out with answering to the question. The Finnish Immigration Service requires you to have at least 560 euros per month in order for you to actually get a residence permit to move to Finland. However, my recommendation is to have a bit more per month, especially if you're going to live in the Helsinki region, because the cost of living in Helsinki is quite a bit higher than anywhere else in Finland. So 560 euros per month is actually not that much. Then Caitlin Marley is asking, is the University of Helsinki a good school? I was thinking about going there for my last 2 years of college. Jet Gotti saying it's highly ranked worldwide. Absolutely. And actually Kim is saying something as well. I study at the University of Helsinki and my answer is yes, math and CS department is amazing. That's true. Caitlin, Kim and Jet are both correct. The University of Helsinki is the highest ranking research university in Finland, and in some specific fields, it's actually extremely highly ranked around the globe. So it's absolutely worth applying if you have a program there that you would be interested in. And Caitlin is saying that she's interested in specifically in the health program, and interested about going into the surgical field. That is actually something that you have to take into account. So Kim is saying that I assume that it is high quality. I study economics, so not my forte. I just know that there are a lot of people that want to study medicine, especially in Helsinki. That's true. Thanks, Kim, for commenting here. Caitlin, what I can say here... oh, excuse me. So Caitlin, what I can actually say here is that you need to contact the University of Helsinki directly about this. The reason being that the medical field in Finland, especially if you want to become a medical doctor, it's highly regulated. And there are actually not that many English-taught medical degrees in Finland that you can study in order to become an MD. So please contact the University of Helsinki directly about this. Kim, if you can help me, what is the ending of the University of Helsinki's email accounts? I think it's helsinki.fi. If it is, then Caitlin, please contact the University of Helsinki with the email address admissions, so that's plural, admissions@helsinki.fi. And please ask them about the surgical field directly, because they will be able to give you a direct answer on how to actually study this field in Finland, especially in English, and whether it's even possible. So cool. Also, finally, Yevgenia saying, I'm also using Speakly app for studying Finnish. I have tried multiple apps and I'm convinced Speakly has the highest quality of education provided. Cool. Thanks for the recommendation. Definitely. Awesome. Quick drink before I get to the next question. There. Whoops. All right. The next question comes from Matthias again, saying here in the form. That's fine. Keep the questions coming. That's why I'm here. So Matthias saying, by the way, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Matthias? I'm like Matthias, or is it just Matthias, or like in a Nordic pronunciation, Matthias, Matthias. If I would pronounce it in Swedish, Matthias. Anyways, Matthias is asking or saying, thanks for your answer. You're most welcome. Another coming, if I may, you may. I heard that many of the applicants for the nursing program are already nurses in their current home country. Is this a must or not? Absolutely not. You do not have to have you do not have to be a nurse already in order to apply, or even have a lot of benefit from applying when you're applying for a nursing program in Finland. The thing, you are absolutely correct that in Finland, when people apply to become a nurse, many people actually do already have a degree in nursing from, for example, from the Philippines. However, what you need to take into account here is that the reason for many people from abroad applying for another nursing degree in Finland is because their nursing degrees are not certified in Finland. So they need to basically they need to take the course or the degree again, or at least they need to take X amount of courses before they can actually get certified in Finland. So that's why they kind of have to do a double degree in a sense. So that's the reason why many nurses from abroad actually apply to do another nursing degree in Finland. So there's no other reason basically on top of that. But no, absolutely not a must. If you think about it, every single nursing student who comes from Finland, who apply to become a nurse, they either come from directly from high school or maybe from another school. So they have no experience in the healthcare industry before. So take that into account. The next question comes from Aaron, who's a regular on the channel. Welcome back. Awesome to have you here. And Aaron is from Kurdistan and applying for a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. And Aaron is saying, "Hi Oliver, it's been a while since I last checked your lives, and I don't have any questions, but I'd like you to give me your feedback about Hump University scholarship. Thank you." Sure, let's check it out. Oh, actually, yeah. So I actually talked about this a while ago. So Aaron, I think you popped in to the stream just like 10 minutes after we talked about this. So I actually think this is a really cool way of organizing a scholarship in Finland. So basically, for anyone who didn't know, wasn't here before, the Hump University of Applied Sciences has a completely different and new scholarship system that is, I don't know if any other school is using the same system. So instead of tying their scholarship into study credits per se, they do have a minimum study credit requirement so that you have to do at least 60 credits per year. However, it's not tied into your GPA or anything like this. Rather, it's actually tied into your Finnish language studies. So if you're able to study your Finnish language courses so that you can actually get to A2 level, you can actually get a 3,200 euro scholarship, and you can actually get these 2 times during your studies. However, if you actually are able to get to B1 level, which is again the minimum requirement, for example, to work as a nurse in Finland, you can actually get a 6,500 euro scholarship, which is really cool. So this is awesome because that means that if the better you actually learn Finnish language, the more you're going to save money. And actually, this is really cool. They explain it here this way. The aim of the Hump Scholarship Program is to support the future employment of international degree students in Finland by encouraging students to gain good level of Finnish language during their studies. And I think this is awesome. So again, I've mentioned this in my previous videos as well as in my every single live stream that I've done. You do not need to learn, you don't have to become fluent in Finnish in order to actually work in Finland. However, it's going to help you tremendously, and especially if you work in fields like healthcare or in any field where you're in direct contact with customers or consumers, it's going to help you a lot. However, it's not a prerequisite unless you work in the healthcare industry. Then you actually need to learn Finnish. But I actually think, Aaron, that this is a really cool way of doing or organizing the scholarships. So definitely thumbs up. Cool. The next question comes from Rish again, and there's a couple of questions here. So first of all, Rish saying, "Moi Oliver, what's up? Welcome." Once again, and I have got my admission letter from the University of Oulu. Request you to congratulate me in Finnish if you want to. I'm very excited and happy. First of all, congratulations. Everyone give applause to Rish for getting admitted to study in Finland. That is absolutely awesome. Congratulations in Finnish would be onnea, onneksi olkoon, or in this case, onneksi olkoon kouluun valitsemisen johdosta, meaning basically congratulations on being admitted to study in Finland. That is absolutely awesome. And Rish also saying, I've received the admission for the master's program in business analytics / data engineer, computer science and engineering, as well as for the master's in environmental engineering. Oh, cool. So actually multiple programs. So my questions are, which program is the best in terms of employment opportunities in Finland? Interesting. Good question. As a general answer, I would say that business analytics and computer sciences and engineering are the best bets in terms of kind of general career development, especially computer science and engineering, because it's such a quickly growing field. It's basically the field of the future. So I would say that, you know, doing a degree in computer sciences is always good. However, I would not count any of these out because they are all really, really interesting fields. For example, the field of environmental engineering is also growing really, really quickly in Finland, and Finland is one of the leading countries in environmental engineering research. So definitely, recommended that as well. So I would say that you should choose based on your interests. Don't think about necessarily the best one for job opportunities, because all of these are really, really great. Rather, choose the program that you're most interested in, because that means that you burn out less likely. And because you like the program that you're studying, you're going to put in more effort, meaning that you become better at what you do, meaning that you become more employable per se. So it doesn't matter if you have a Harvard degree, doctoral degree from Harvard in a field. If you suck at what you do, no one wants to hire you. However, if you have a degree from a school that no one has ever heard about, but you're super, super, super good at what you do, everyone wants to hire you. For example, I think it was Elon Musk who said something like, I have to, paraphrasing, but Elon Musk, in one of the interviews that he did a couple of years ago, where he commented on his recruitment philosophy, he said that he doesn't give a damn about your school and your background. He only gives damn about your achievements, meaning what have you done, what are you able to do, and how will you help the company. So the degree and the school itself doesn't really matter. It matters that you know what you're doing. So the better you are at what you're doing, the more employable you are, the higher your salary you will be. So choose what you love. Then the second question was, how is the University of Oulu and the City of Oulu? Thought I know it, but just want to know your opinion. I haven't been to Oulu that many times, so I cannot comment that much. Oulu is a big city. It's a city of technology. It's a city of engineering. For example, Nokia had a massive, I think they still have a massive place there, or factory or office. And Oulu is actually one of the kind of technology hubs in Finland, so definitely a place to be if you want to study technology. The one thing is that Oulu is quite far north, so the winters are really, really awesome because you have a lot of snow, although it's also a bit darker there during the winter compared to Helsinki. But yeah, I don't know. Oulu is awesome. They have good job opportunities. It's a big city, a lot of different activities that you can do. It's close to Lapland, so you can easily go and ski anytime you want during the winter, so it's really cool. And about the weather in Oulu, seasons and sunlight, I'm kind of skeptical about this. Yeah, so basically during the winter, it's a bit darker, or the days are a bit shorter compared to Helsinki or the south. On the other hand, during the summer, the days are also a bit longer, and you actually have, I think you have in Oulu, you have, I think at the, I'm not actually sure if you get, nightless days or nightless nights in Oulu, basically meaning that during the summer there's a season when the sun doesn't dip at all below the horizon because it's so far north. So I would say that the seasons are more extreme compared to south of Finland, but I would enjoy it. I love nature, I love the winter, I love the season, so I would enjoy there personally really, really well. But yeah, I would say that it's personal preferences. Jet Gotti is saying that the clapping sound was hilarious. Do you mean this one? Yeah, congratulations, awesome. Yeah, I got myself a soundboard. I'm actually trying to install a couple of different sound effects here. For example, whenever I'm drinking something, I would have some kind of a sound effect or something. I'm not sure. Jet Cot is also saying that Oulu is a very beautiful city. I do agree. It's a really nice place. So definitely recommend it. Anyway, the next question comes from Bavia again. And Bavia is asking about the second stage interview at the University of Jyväskylä. All right, so hey Oliver, thanks for the previous answer. You're welcome. As you said, you don't have any knowledge of the University of Jyväskylä, but can you help me with a little information if you can find it? I have received the invitation to a second stage interview at the University of Jyväskylä for the master's program in cognitive computing and collective intelligence. What the hell is that? Sounds way too complicated for me. I'm just a simple businessman. I don't understand what that means. Cool. That sounds really cool. Interesting. Anyway, I don't know how should I prepare for the interview. Can you help me with that? Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot help you with this. The problem with these interviews in general is that the questions change from year to year, and they're usually not publicized anywhere. So I don't want to put any, thoughts into your head about what kind of what questions specifically to think about. However, what I would think about is, or maybe the one thing that I would think about is, all right, okay, so scratch everything that I said. Maybe I can help you in. Maybe I can help you in the context, in your mindset. So if you think about it, when you apply for a university, as well as with any job, when you apply for a job or to study at a university, the first stage is always filtering out people based on paperwork. So for example, in terms of jobs, that would be your CV. Only those who have a good enough CV, like the basic mediocre good CVs, those will be invited into a interview, or those who have a good CV will be invited to at least to a first interview, which means that when you are invited to an interview process, that already means that you are proficient enough, you're good enough on paper to either work at that place, job, or study at that specific university. So in your case, you have already passed the filters from the University of Jyväskylä on paper. This means that if they didn't have any other applicants, you would be good enough for them to be admitted. However, because they have a bunch of other applicants as well, who are also good enough on paper, they have to then separate all of these applicants and basically filter out those who suit the goals of the university or a company, for example, the best, right? So at this point, you have to start thinking about what makes you special. What separates you from the other applicants, in this case for the university? Why should the university specifically choose you to study there? And if I were to go to an interview like this as an international student, some of the topics that I would be thinking about is, especially if I were one of the, or if I put myself in the shoes of the university, admission process person, whatever, who is interviewing you, I would want to know, what do you want to study in Finland? What motivates you to come to Finland? What motivates you to move to the other side of the world from India? Why the University of Jyväskylä? Why do you want to study this field of cognitive computing and collective intelligence? What are your aspirations for the future? What are your aspirations for your career? Do you want to become a researcher? Do you want to become a number one in your field in something specific? What are your goals in the long term, or short and mid long and then long term? So try to think about reasons or things that separate you from the pack, that make you special. It doesn't have to be something that, okay, you're the best in your chess club in your high school. However, try to put yourself into this kind of mindset. all the people who are going to be interviewed are already proficient enough on paper that they could actually be chosen or admitted into the school. However, why should they actually choose you over everyone else? So I would think that you should approach this question from, or this topic from these kind of questions, and you should do fine. Again, sorry for not being able to help you more specifically, but the problem is that there's no way for me to know the actual questions that they're going to ask. Abhishek, hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I know the hat. I haven't had a haircut in 3 months, and the barbers are closed for the next 3 weeks, so I'm having a bit of a hair problem. So I had to put on a hat today, so hopefully that's fine. Rishi, by the way, you're welcome for the answer just now. Let's see. Aaron is asking, will it apply for all 4 years, or is it just the first year? Actually, Aaron, I don't know what you're referring to. Can you actually repeat the question in the chat, and I will be glad to answer the question if you have. Jet, hey, thank you so much for the super chat without any kind of message. Pat Kid, what do we have? We have a tongue twister for Oliver. Darn. Okay, I think I have to try this out. Pat Kid poured cord pulled cord. What? Pat Kid poured curd, not cord, curd. Pat Kid poured curd, pulled cord. Pat Kid poured curd. All right, let's try this one more time. Pat Kid poured curd, pulled cord. Pulled cord. Pat Kid poured. Jeez. Pat Kid poured curd, pulled cord. Pat Kid poured curd, pulled cord. Pat Kid poured curd. Pat Kid poured curd, pulled cord. I think that's close enough, I think. All right, Aaron is saying the Hump University scholarship. No, it only applies to 2 times. So you can apply for it, you can be granted the scholarship 2 times during your studies. So if you think about it, you're going to do a 3.5-year degree there, which would mean that you would then be able to get it twice. So 2 years. That's how I understood it. Once more. Pat Kid poured curd, pulled cod. All right. Something like that, I think. Thanks for the super chat and the tongue twister. Pat Kid poured curd. Pat Kid poured curd, pulled cod. There you go. Yevgenia saying 2 hours later. Yeah, I know. Maybe I should move on. I'm getting a bit tired as well. All right. Masrur saying, try this. Right. The classic. She sells seashells on the seashore. She sells seashells on the seashore. There you go. That's a classic. She sells seashells on the seashore. I think I nailed it. I cannot do it any faster, but I think that was actually pretty good. Anyways, the next question comes from Matheus. Matheus from Brazil. And Matheus is not yet sure whether or not he wants to study in Finland, saying, I don't know yet. I'm still doing research. However, he is interested in doing a master's in law. Awesome. And the question is, the free tuition fees can also apply for a double citizenship student from EU. Yeah, so in your case, if you have a Portuguese citizenship, you will not have to pay any tuition fees. That is absolutely correct. You can actually find this information from, I think, the Finnish Immigration Services website. No, actually, sorry, scratch that. You can actually find this information from university websites on scholarship websites. If you have a EU citizenship, doesn't matter if it's a double citizenship or not, you do not have to pay tuition fees. So you're absolutely correct. Yeah, definitely. And then let's see what do we have here. Scarlett saying that was great. Thank you for the feedback. That made my day. Babia saying one more challenge. Peter Piper picked a okay, so this is the one. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? All right, one more. Okay, I actually know this one as well, and especially with this microphone, this should be good. Peter Piper picked a peck of Peter Piper picked a pack of Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many picked Peter Piper picked a peck of jeez. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? Peter Piper picked a peck of okay, that's fine. Jet is saying, I wondered why she even sells seashells. That's very good. Cool. Awesome. I think that's enough for the tongue twisters for today. It's getting too late for that kind of stuff for today. Cool. Matthias, you're welcome. If you have any further questions, let me know, and I will be glad to elaborate. And the next question from the forum comes from Matthias, who's saying, one more time, boys. And Matthias saying, thank you, sir. You're welcome. Here we go again with numerous questions in the same form. That's completely fine. By the way, guys, the form, the only reason why I actually use the form, or there's a couple of reasons. First of all, it's easier for me to answer the questions from the form because it makes it easier for me to actually manage all the questions. The second reason is that basically every single question that you guys ask is, or the answers to those questions is dependent on your individual backgrounds, for example, your citizenship and the schools that you want to apply to. So that's why I, for example, ask about where you come from and in which school you want to apply to or study and in what field and what level. That's why that's the reason for the form. It simply helps me answer your questions as accurately as possible. So just take that into account. Let's see. Then, all right, anyways, the questions, what do you think about Seinäjoki and Jyväskylä as places to live? If you happen to also know something about Jamk compared to Seamk, would be cool though, sorry. And about the name, you say it however you like to say it. Right, so Matthias, I think that's close enough. Matthias, this is really funny because actually I've been to basically all the Nordic countries at some point in my life, and the funny thing is that I actually at one point when I was quite young, I actually spoke fluent enough Swedish that I was actually able to communicate with any Nordic people from Norway, Sweden, Denmark, or well, Finland is a bit different, of course, but nowadays I no longer speak Swedish at all. Almost, I simply haven't had any use for it for like 15 years or so. I used to go into school in Swedish. That's the reason. So about the questions in terms of Seinäjoki and Jyväskylä, again, it's really hard for me to say. I've actually never been to Seinäjoki myself at all. I've only been to Jyväskylä very briefly. I've ever been to Jyväskylä very briefly, and I've never been to the campus. And again, I don't have any friends who've actually gone to Jyväskylä to study there, so it's really difficult for me to say. I actually don't comment on it at all because it's difficult for me to say. About the comparison between Jamk and Seamk, the same thing here. I do know that they're both excellent schools. I think Seamk, no, that's Samk. I always mix Samk and Seamk because they are so similar. But the thing is that I think that one of these schools had a couple of really innovative new programs, but they don't apply to you, I think, because they're from different fields. Anyways, Jamk and Seamk, both really good schools. I can highly recommend both of them. Seinäjoki and Jyväskylä, really difficult to say the differences because I've never been there, so I would be just guessing, basically. And the question, do you recommend a master's in healthcare at some point? I applied for a bachelor's, but should I also think about a master's in the future? Yeah, definitely. So, okay. My personal opinion is that yes, you should. The reason being, and please take this with a grain of salt, and of course consider that this is your personal choice. Please don't follow the advice of other people, especially if you don't feel like doing it. One of my biggest mistakes that I've done during my studies is that I chose my major program for my bachelor studies. I did my bachelor's in accounting. I chose that because people suggested it to me because there's a lot of job opportunities in accounting. However, I've always really hated math, and accounting is basically just math. So I hated the degree or the program all throughout my bachelor studies, and I got burned out after the first year really badly. And I actually I'm quite late with my studies because of the fact that I wasn't simply able to progress with my studies in time. So one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I should have chosen the program that I really wanted to study, marketing or maybe management and strategy, and I would have done much better. And I actually changed my major when I went to my master's, and I've done excellent in school after I actually chose something that I was interested in. So take this with a grain of salt. Again, only study what you think you want to study. Don't follow anyone else's advice, because that's the wrong way to go. However, in terms of doing a master's in healthcare or master's in any other field as well, I think the hair is fine. I think doing a master's or higher degree in any field nowadays is actually a good choice or good option. The reason being that in the future, within the next 15, 20 years or so, automation is going to remove a lot of especially basic level jobs that are easily automated, meaning a lot of jobs in, for example, law, a lot of jobs in business, like basic jobs like accounting, etc. A lot of these kind of things are going to be automated. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of healthcare jobs that cannot be automated. For example, nursing is one of them, because you still need the physical person there helping the patients. However, many of the parts of the nursing job are going to be automated or robotized. So I think the best way for you to protect your future and your future career in the long term, considering that we guys are, think about it, we are only in the beginning of our career, and most of us have 50, 60, even 70 years of work ahead of us, because when we're 70 or 60 or something like this, I'm sure that our pensions are going to be pushed even further away. So a lot of us are never going to retire per se. So in this case, there's a lifetime of work ahead of us, and I would want you guys to secure as good of a career for yourself as possible. And I think that doing a higher level degree, at least at some point, is going to help with that, because that makes you less easily replaceable through automation. I think. Bye, Kim. What's up? Sorry. Bye, Kim. Awesome that you had the time to hang out. I will talk to you later. So yeah, I would say that definitely consider doing a master's degree if you're interested, at least at some point, because I think that it's going to be useful for you. Again, if you're interested, that's at least my recommendation. Anya is asking, how old am I? I'm actually 30, turning 30 this September. So I'm actually a bit late with my degree. I was supposed to graduate a couple of years ago. However, I've been working for 4 years full time, and then now I actually moved to work as a full-time YouTuber. So that's the reason why my graduation has postponed a bit. But yeah, I'm 29 currently, and turning 30 in September 2021. Wahid, welcome to the stream. What's up? Hope you're doing fine. There's actually a lot of really interesting questions that we answered and talked about today. So if you want to rewind back, I think that there's a lot of questions that will help you and give you answers as well. Yevgenia saying that I like the Finnish tongue twister. It's called Plans for the Future. Tulevaisuuden suunnitelmat. Yeah, that's a good one for foreigners as well, especially. But anyways, guys, I'm actually out of questions in the form, and we have almost gone for 2 hours. So I think this is a really good point to end the stream. What I would like to say is that we're currently in 25 likes. It would be awesome to get to 35, for example, before we end the stream. So if you guys could actually smash the like button so that we could actually get to 35 likes before we actually end the stream. And meanwhile, while you're actually doing that, I would of course like to say that I would really appreciate if you guys are getting value out of the videos that I'm doing, and for example these live streams, that you guys consider joining as channel members And first of all, that would help me, grow the channel in the future. And I would appreciate your direct support. And there's currently 4 different levels of channel memberships, and each of them come with specific perks. And for example, if you are a Kandi level member or higher, you actually get access to our members only live streams that we do once a month. Basically the same concept as here. However, we only have a few people there, and you guys can actually send me questions beforehand in the Discord server, and I will actually prepare for the questions a bit better beforehand, and that way you guys can actually get quite a lot more value from the streams compared to these ones where I actually have to think about the questions while I'm actually receiving the questions here. So I would highly appreciate it if you actually consider joining as a member. If you cannot or don't want to, that's completely fine. I still appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being a member of the community. And I think for that, or having said that, I thank you so much for hanging out this week. And if we could actually get 2 more likes to 35 likes, that would be awesome. But I think that's everything for today. There's a couple of questions now in the form that just came a minute ago. I actually will start next week's live stream with those questions. So if you want to hear the answer to your questions, for example, Nohemie, please join us next week at 5:30 p.m. Eastern European time, and I will start next week's live stream with your question and answer it right there. Anyways, thanks so much, guys, for hanging out today. It was awesome. Thanks so much for all the super chats, Kim and Alexi, and I will talk to you later next week, and of course through the regular videos starting next Tuesday. All right.